Have you noticed how, over the years, simple things start to feel more difficult? Maybe getting out of bed takes a few extra seconds, walking to the neighborhood bakery already brings unexpected fatigue, or even climbing a few steps makes you think twice. This happens to a lot of people. And if you're experiencing something similar, I want you to know one thing. You're not alone. The good news is that this doesn't have to be your fate. The idea that aging means accepting limitations, pain, and loss of energy is a myth that's been repeated so often many people believe it. But the truth is different. It's possible to regain mobility, vitality, and even that lost confidence. And today, I'm going to show you how. In this video, or rather this conversation we're having right now, I'll reveal 5 simple but transformative practices that can completely change the way you age. And when I say transformative, I'm not exaggerating. These are proven habits, easy to apply, and anyone can start them today. But I want you to stay until the end, because the last 2 points I'll share have the power to change not just your body, but also your mind. I usually call them the real game changers. The ones that make all the difference when practiced consistently. Before we get into the first point, I'd like to ask you something. If you identify with this topic, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a like. That not only helps the channel grow, but also ensures you keep receiving content that can truly transform your health and your life. And one more thing. Leave a comment below. Type 1. If you've already noticed signs of fatigue, slowness, or loss of strength in recent years. Or 0, if you feel you haven't noticed a difference yet. I want to see your participation because your answer helps me create content that's even more aligned with your reality. Now let's go to the first step, sleep. A lot of people think that as you age, poor sleep is normal. Who hasn't heard phrases like, "That's just how it is after 60, sleep is never the same." But that's a mistake. Sleep isn't just rest, it's the foundation of everything. It's during deep sleep that your body recovers, your muscles are repaired, your memory is strengthened, and even your vital energy is restored. Let me tell you a true story. I met a gentleman named Harold, 68 years old. He told me he was always tired, with no motivation for anything. He thought he was aging too fast. When we talked, I realized he was only sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night with several interruptions. No wonder he woke up feeling like he'd been hit by a truck. After adjusting a few small things in his routine, like turning off the TV an hour before bed, cutting back on caffeine in the afternoon, and creating a relaxing bedtime ritual, everything changed. Within a few weeks, Harold seemed like a different person, more energetic, in a better mood, and even walking with more confidence. This proves how essential sleep is, and it doesn't require anything complicated. A few simple tips already make a difference. Set a consistent time to sleep and wake up. Avoid screens before bed because blue light tricks the brain. Prepare the environment by keeping the room dark, quiet, and cool, and create a relaxing bedtime ritual, whether it's light reading, deep breathing, or even a warm bath. And here's your challenge. Tonight, turn off all electronic devices 30 minutes before bed and see the difference tomorrow. It may seem small, but it could be the beginning of truly restorative nights. Now I want to talk about another invisible enemy, sitting too much. I want you to reflect on something. How much time do you spend sitting every day? Think about it. While having coffee, watching TV, reading, using your phone, chatting with friends. The truth is, if you add it all up, many of us spend 7 to 10 hours a day sitting. And do you know what the problem is? Our bodies weren't made to stay still for so long. Every hour we spend inactive, our muscles weaken, circulation slows, and energy drops. The solution? Simple movements throughout the day. You don't need to run marathons or join a gym. Just add small movement breaks. Stand up every hour, even if it's just to stretch your legs. March in place while talking on the phone. Go up and down a single step several times. Stretch while watching TV. Every micro movement adds up. It's like making deposits into a health and vitality bank account. The more you deposit, the greater the return. Now that we've talked about sleep and the danger of sitting too much, it's time to address one of the most powerful, free, and often forgotten resources: sunlight. Yes, something as simple as going outside and letting sunlight touch your skin can transform the way you age. Let me explain why. As we age, our natural ability to produce vitamin D decreases. And vitamin D isn't just any vitamin. It's linked to bone health, muscle strength, immunity, and even mood. Without it, the risk of falls increases, joints become stiffer, bones grow weaker, and even mental well-being declines. Many people spend their lives indoors, believing that avoiding the sun keeps them safe. But the truth is, the body feels that absence. It's like an essential gear is missing in the body's machinery. Let me tell you about Barbara, a 72-year-old woman I started following up with. She took short walks around the house, paid attention to her diet, but still complained of body aches and an unexplained fatigue. When I asked how much time she spent outdoors, I realized she barely got any sun. Most of her day was spent indoors. The change was simple. She started going out on the porch or into the backyard for just 10 to 15 minutes every morning. After a few weeks, the results were surprising. Her mood improved, the pain lessened, her sleep became deeper, and her energy returned. That's not a coincidence. It's science. Many studies show that even short daily sun exposure improves sleep quality, regulates the circadian rhythm, strengthens the immune system, and keeps bones and muscles in better condition. Now let's talk about another fundamental point: your legs. If there's one part of the body that cannot afford to lose strength with age, it's the legs. They are the foundation of independence. They're what allow you to get out of bed on your own, climb stairs, walk with stability, and even balance in unexpected situations. When the legs weaken, everything around them weakens too: confidence, autonomy, and safety. And often, loss of lower body strength is the first sign that someone is starting to lose their independence. So, what's the secret? Simple exercises that you can do at home, without equipment, at any age. The first is chair squats. Sit down and stand up without using your hands, repeating 5 to 10 times. This movement activates the most important leg muscles and mimics exactly what we do in daily life. Another powerful exercise is heel raises. Stand up, hold onto a stable surface, lift up onto your toes, then lower slowly. This strengthens the calves, improves circulation, and helps prevent swelling. And finally, seated leg extensions. Sit in a chair, extend one leg forward, hold for a few seconds, then switch legs. This move strengthens the front of your thighs, key muscles for balance. These 3 exercises, done for just a few minutes each day, can transform how your legs respond to aging. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. It's better to do a little every day than try too much in one day and give up. The body responds to what is consistent, and the more you strengthen your legs, the more security you'll have to stay active, independent, and confident. So far, we've talked about sleep, daily movement, sunlight, and leg strength. But there's one element that's often overlooked and makes all the difference: caring for the mind along with the body. Strong muscles mean little if your mind is overwhelmed, anxious, and full of fears. That's why in this part, we'll talk about 2 ancient practices that can transform not only your physical health, but also your emotional and mental well-being: yoga and Tai Chi. Many people think these practices are only for the young, the flexible, or those already experienced in physical activity, but that's not true. In reality, yoga and Tai Chi are extremely inclusive. They can be adapted to any age and any physical condition. It's not about twisting your body into impossible positions. It's about learning to respect your limits, breathe consciously, and move gently. Yoga, for example, works on strength, balance, flexibility, and breathing. A simple pose like raising your arms above your head and taking a deep breath already creates space between the vertebrae, improves posture, and sends more oxygen to the brain. It's not something distant or complicated. It's accessible. Tai Chi, on the other hand, is often called meditation in motion. With its slow and coordinated gestures, it strengthens muscles, improves circulation, and most importantly, promotes balance, physical balance, which prevents falls, and inner balance, which brings calm and confidence. Let me share the story of Richard, a 76-year-old man I met in a community Tai Chi class. He was afraid of falling, and that fear made him avoid simple movements. like crossing the street quickly or walking on uneven sidewalks. That fear was limiting his life. But after a few weeks of practicing Tai Chi, he told me something I'll never forget. It's not just that my body feels steadier, it's that I trust myself again. That's the true power of these practices. And you don't need anything fancy to get started. A sturdy chair, a mat, or even your living room floor is enough. You can start seated, slowly lifting one arm and then the other, taking a deep breath with each movement. You can stand and shift your weight from one foot to the other, as if gently swaying. These are small movements, but they create big changes. The benefit isn't just physical. When we practice yoga or Tai Chi, the body releases built-up tension, but the mind also finds relief. Stress, which often feels unavoidable, starts to ease. Breathing becomes deeper, the heart rate slows down, and even blood pressure can improve. And there's something even deeper, a sense of presence. Instead of living worried about the past or anxious about the future, you start being more in the here and now. With Tai Chi, the invitation is similar. Stand up, gently bend your knees, and shift your body weight from one foot to the other, as if softly pressing into the ground. Do this for a few moments, breathing slowly. This simple movement already activates your balance and brings a sense of control. If you include 5 to 10 minutes of these practices in your routine, you'll notice surprising results. And not just in your body, in your mind, your heart, and the way you approach your day. That feeling of lightness and calm will ripple through your life. And before we move on to the next point, I'd like you to leave a comment. Have you ever practiced yoga or Tai Chi? Type yes if you've tried it or no if you haven't. I really want to know. It will help me bring even more detailed guidance in future content. Yoga and Tai Chi aren't just physical activities, they're tools for transformation. They remind you that aging doesn't mean shrinking away from life, but rather expanding, breathing deeply, and continuing to grow. These practices restore confidence, presence, and balance, so that every step you take is steady, and every movement is full of meaning. If there's a silent fear that haunts many people after age 60, it's the fear of falling. Maybe you've felt it when crossing an uneven sidewalk, going downstairs without a handrail, or even standing up too quickly from a chair. This fear, as invisible as it may seem, can seriously limit your life, because it not only reduces your confidence, but also makes you avoid movement, which in turn weakens your muscles and reduces mobility. It's a dangerous cycle. The more fear, the less movement, the more weakening, and the more weakening, the higher the risk of falling. But there is a way to break that cycle, and it starts with understanding that balance is something that can be trained. Contrary to what many believe, it's not age that takes away balance. It's the lack of constant stimulation. Balance depends on 3 major systems: vision, the inner ear, and proprioception, which is the ability to sense the position of your body in space. When we stop challenging the body with small tasks that engage these systems, we lose efficiency. That's why simple exercises like standing on one foot for a few seconds, walking along an imaginary straight line, or even shifting your weight from one side to the other can strengthen this essential skill. A truly inspiring example is Laura, age 69. She told me she no longer trusted her own steps and was constantly afraid of tripping. Through the practice of small balance exercises, combined with short walks, she not only regained steadiness in her walking, but also began to feel free again. Visiting friends, strolling through the park, and even playing with her grandchildren without hesitation. Here's a simple practice for you to try. Close your eyes for a few seconds, breathe in deeply through your nose, hold the air for 3 seconds, and then slowly release it through your mouth. Repeat this 5 times in a row. It's quick, but you'll notice how your body responds with more calm, how your muscles relax, and even how your heart begins to beat at a slower, smoother rhythm. This small breathing exercise can be used at any time of the day, especially when you're feeling afraid or uncertain. And before we move on to the final point of this journey, I want to challenge you. This week, choose a moment in your day to practice 3 minutes of balance and 3 minutes of conscious breathing. It can be in the morning when you wake up or at night before bed. The important thing is to create the habit. Write in the comments which of these 2 exercises you plan to start today, because when you declare your intention, you increase your chances of following through. Think with me. We've already covered 5 key pillars: sleep, daily movement, sunlight exposure, leg strength, and practices that unite body and mind. Now imagine the accumulated impact of all this in just a few months. You wake up with more energy, walk with steadiness, sleep better, feel fewer aches, have more vitality, and above all, you're no longer afraid of losing your independence. That's the real secret to healthy aging. It's not about drastic changes, but small, consistent steps that, together, build a stronger, more balanced, and more fulfilling life. We've now reached the final point of this journey, and it's time to put all the puzzle pieces together. By now you've realized that there is no magic formula, no miracle pill, but rather a set of simple choices that, when practiced consistently, completely transform the experience of aging. Restorative sleep, avoiding long periods of sitting, enjoying the sun's energy, strengthening your legs, and integrating body and mind through practices like yoga, tai chi, and balance exercises. All of this works as layers of protection, as foundations that support your vitality and independence. But there's still one missing ingredient that ties all these habits together: a mindset of purpose. Healthy aging isn't just about keeping the body working, it's about keeping the heart full of reasons to get up every day. It's about having reasons to smile, projects to pursue, and moments to live. People who find purpose, whether it's taking care of family, tending a garden, learning something new, or simply enjoying each morning with gratitude, live longer and better. This isn't just philosophy. It's science. Studies show that people with a clear sense of purpose have a lower risk of heart disease, less depression, and even lower mortality rates. It's as if the body responds to the mind's command, saying, "If there's still a reason to live, I'll stay strong." So here's my invitation. Choose just one of these 5 points and start today. You don't need to wait for Monday, and you don't need to plan for months. Just take the first step. Tomorrow, do it again. The day after, one more time. Before long, you'll start to notice your life changing, and when you look back, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. I want you to write in the comments right now which of these habits you're going to start. Will it be improving your sleep, standing up more throughout the day, getting more sun, strengthening your legs, or practicing conscious breathing and movement? Write it down so I know, because declaring your intention strengthens your commitment. And remember, this space isn't just a channel. It's a community of people just like you, seeking more health, more energy, and more independence. Sharing your decision might inspire someone else who's still unsure. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Aging is not about losing. It's about accumulating. Accumulating experiences, wisdom, and also responsibility to yourself. The responsibility to care for the body that supports you, the mind that guides you, and the spirit that moves you. You don't have to accept the narrative that aging equals decline. Aging can be an opportunity to live with more awareness, more gratitude, and more intensity. Every choice you make today is shaping the future you'll have tomorrow. So, take a deep breath right now, feel this moment, and make a commitment to yourself. I will take care of myself. I will move. I will live with purpose. Because time passes, but how you choose to live it depends entirely on you. And I'll be right here by your side, bringing you tools, stories, and inspiration so you never forget how much you still have to accomplish.